Hey guys, welcome back to my podcast. This is Something Like Olivia with me, your host, Olivia, which makes sense because that's the name of the podcast and that's the name of myself who is in front of you right now. I'm already off to a really great start. I feel like I haven't podcasted in forever because I literally just I don't know, man. I was like, season 2, let's get ready. Let's get into it. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, wait, I'm going to upstate New York and things are really, really busy there. And then I'm coming home and things are really, really busy here. And I'm just trying to figure it out. I've been getting ready for camp. I've been seeing my friends just because the 1 week that I get home, my friends actually happen to be here at the same time. We rarely overlap. And if we do, it is literally it's weird because it feels like we're seeing each other every day because we talk every day, but I'm literally only seeing these people 1 or 2 days at a time tops, and that's twice out of the year, if that makes sense. So around Christmas time and stuff like that, and right now. But that was just amazing. It's been amazing being with my friends, and it was amazing being in New York. I was able to see Reese in New York, which is so fantastic. Being in the city, I really I know I feel like I'm kind of hard on myself with the whole moving thing because I keep being I'm going to move, but then I never do. And then I beat myself up for it. But I will say something about New York. I just get there and I'm wow, this is where I want to be. This is amazing. Which we love. We love that for me, and we love that for everything and everyone, except not my wallet. We do not love that for my wallet because I will tell you, my 3 days in New York City just ripped my bank account to shreds, but in a cool, trendy, fun way. You know what I mean? Yeah, right? It was really amazing. But right now I'm actually... probably this is going to be very short. I feel like this podcast is going to be literally maybe 10 minutes tops. Who knows? We'll see. But I just kind of wanted to come on here and tell you in a more casual way on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, and in a more casual way on the podcast, not some drawn out thing, just to kind of say that I am going to camp and that things are just changing. I feel like I'm kind of becoming more myself, which is really cool. I feel like kind of this whole year has been this whole self-love journey and just realization of who I am and what I want to do. And I feel like now going to camp, this is a huge step for me. I'm actually able to kind of really finally take a step back from social media and Instagram and no TikTok. We don't have our phones at all. Everything is 100% unplugged. I think I do. And again, no promises because I literally all the time I'm all right, the podcast is back, baby. And then I'm gone for 3 weeks. Sorry. But I think I do want to record the podcast while I'm at camp on my days off, just because I feel I'll have good things to say. I feel there's going to be a lot of lessons learned as a counselor. There's 3 different sessions. So I'm going to have 3 different groups of girls in the cabin that I am in charge of, I guess you could say that. And they're all going to be different age groups, kind of around the same age group, but the shorter sessions, it's younger girls that go and stuff like that. So it's going to be very different people, and it's going to be a different camp experience than I remember it from when I was a camper, just because of, I don't know, I'm older now. I'm on the other side of things. I'm a counselor. I have way more responsibility. I'm no longer the main character at camp, and I am okay with that. It's not that I was the main character at camp, but you know what I'm saying? As a camper, kind of the world revolves around you. We are putting on these activities and these shows to have fun times for you. And obviously it's fun for the campers, but it's everything you do is kind of for these campers to have a good time. And now I'm a counselor, and yeah, it's for me to have a good time too, but it's it's just different. It's totally on the different side of things. You're kind of putting on the show rather than watching the show. Still definitely in and out of the show. I feel I'll be watching a good portion of it. I think it's going to be fun. I mean, there's I'm not trying to say that it's not going to be fun at all like it was when I was a camper, but I'm just thinking about the fact that I don't know, I'm going to be in charge of human beings now, and I'm going to be responsible, and I can't just run around camp and run amok of things. Don't know if that was the right way to say that, but I did it. So take that with whatever. now I'm just not even saying anything. But, I don't know. I'm just really excited. And it's interesting because it's kind of brought up like a good amount of emotions before going into camp. Just kind of like figuring out who I am and like the fact that this is actually happening. When I had the idea to go back to camp, I mean, every year when like camp season rolls around, I'm kind of like, oh, like get that feeling, get that little camp itch, and I want to go and I want to be a part of things. But it wasn't really until this year that I like really felt it super strongly, just because, as we know, this year has been so crazy and everything's uncertain, and I kind of just needed something new. I needed something fresh. I needed to do a total 180. And I'm excited for that. I don't see this as like a detour in my life. I just think that like the fact that literally life is so like the road of my life is full of like twists and turns and all this stuff. Like I don't feel like this is like, because the thing is, I don't want to just like do this, like pull off to the side of the road, do camp for a second, and then pull back onto this and like go straight back into my like social media, like working for fashion companies BS. You know what I'm saying? Like I am eager to find new things out about myself. I'm eager to find new passions and things that I love. And to potentially make these hobbies that I have into a full-time thing. I don't think I'll do camp full-time. I mean, I can't even say that for sure right now. Like, what if I go and I'm like, oh my God, this has been calling my name. Like, this is what I needed. This is the missing puzzle piece. Like, this is what I want to do. I have no idea. That could very well happen. One of my best friends from camp, Courtney, she works full-time at camp. She has gone there her whole life and then realized that, yes, this is it. This is the thing for me. Like, that's amazing. And it happens. And it could happen to me. And I don't know. I don't think so. But I also, I mean, like, I really need to keep my options open. I get so wrapped up, and I feel like I say that saying all the time. I'm like, I'm always so caught up in, I get so wrapped up in this. I get so caught up in this. But like, I am constantly just like tangled in the web of life. And I literally just get so caught up in, as I was saying that, I forgot about what I was even caught up in, but I remember it now. I get so caught up in the fact that like I'm 23 and for some reason it feels like 25 is like 45. And even then, that's not even that old. Like I feel like I, in my brain, have always thought that like my 20s is it. Like that's my entire life. And like if I don't have it together by 23, let alone 25, my life is over. But it's not. And like I have so much more learning to do and experiencing, and just like, I don't know. I am excited. I'm excited for everything. And I feel like this is a really great way to learn what I like and what I don't like. I have a passion of connecting with other people. I have this idea in my brain that I don't want to reveal with you guys yet, just because it is something that I'm really passionate about and I'm really excited about. But like, I feel like part of me feels like it's something real. You know what I'm saying? Like part of me feels like this could be big, and I don't want to tell it to you yet, just in case it is what I end up doing. So I'm going to hold off on that, but I have this like one thing that I'm kind of like really, really excited about, and I'm just feeling really good about it. And it just involves like bringing community together and taking a more like holistic view of life, way less social media, way less like self-centered career. I don't know. And I don't want to say that like my career has been self-centered, like in the negative term where it's like all about me, but like it literally, like blogging, Instagram, like I'm posting photos of myself. I'm posting like outfits that I'm wearing. I'm like talking about what I did in my life. And like that's the same with my YouTube and all this stuff. But like I want to start doing things that involve the people that I love and strangers that I fall in love with, like you never know where you can make a friend. And I'm excited to just continue to grow my community. I just feel like I connect so well with other people, and I find that I'm happiest when I am connecting with other people, and I'm happiest when I'm out in the world and experiencing new things and just like making friends and taking names, but in a good way, and just like having a good experience, like there's no reason why I should sit through my life and just continue to do social media jobs like for companies, because it's just what I know. You know, like there is no reason why you can't learn something new at 23. And that is young. Like you should be learning new things at 23, you know? Like I think that you genuinely need to constantly be trying new hobbies and learning new things. I'm currently reading Untamed by Glennon Doyle. I'm actually pretty close to the end and I'm proud of myself because it was my goal to read more books this year. And I'm literally packing like 8 books with me or something to camp. And I am going to be so impressed with myself if I can read them all by the end of the summer. That would be amazing. I don't know how like summer reading literally used to be like 15 books or something. That's probably a huge exaggeration, but like a lot of books. And like we would get it done. Like what do we do? Just sit around and read all the time? I don't know. Actually, I'm like, now the more I get into reading, I'm like, that sounds kind of nice. But I'm reading this book and I don't remember what the chapter was called, and I'm not giving you direct quotes because I don't know. I don't mark up my books as much as I should because I feel like there's a lot worth remembering and noting. And sometimes I kind of just like read through it, but maybe if I reread it or something in the future, I can give you like full quotes. But, she's talking about how she doesn't have really any hobbies. So her wife asks her like, what do you do for fun? I think is what it is. And she's like, what do you mean fun? Like I'm an adult. I'm a mother. My job is to like wake up and take care of the kids and do my work and watch like trashy reality TV and go to bed and repeat. Like do it all over again the next day. Like, what do you mean for fun? Like, I'm so busy. And she's like, oh, well, like you have to have something that's fun. And she's like, no, fun is for children, like blah, blah, blah. But then she eventually like eventually thinks like, oh, you know what? I've always wanted to learn how to play the guitar. And she's like in her 40s or something, I think. I don't know. And she just like picks up the guitar. She goes and starts taking guitar lessons. And she tells Abby, her wife, that she's going to do guitar. And Abby's like, what? Like, I've literally never known you to play the guitar or anything. And she's like, exactly. Like, I'm so excited to learn and do this. And it was something that it like really excited her. And she learned it. And I mean, I don't think she's like any old pro at the guitar now, but like, it's something that she enjoys doing. And it's that same thing about like how I'm always saying like bad art is good art, you know, like even if it's bad, like still just like creating something. Like we put so much pressure on ourselves as a society to be like, oh, you're 40 years old and you're just learning to play the guitar. Like, why aren't you an expert yet? Like, oh, you're making art and like you're showing people off your art, but like it's not even that good. It's like, what? Like what? Like if I'm enjoying doing it, it's good. If it was fun, it's good. Even if I'm like have a bad singing voice and like am pretty crappy at the ukulele and can never play anything off book, like I still love singing along and playing to ukulele. That's like one of my hobbies that like I haven't done in forever, but like I've had these ukuleles lying around for so long and like every now and then I'll pick them back up, and I picked them back up the other day and I was like, this is awesome. And we have a ukulele class at camp, and I'm kind of hoping that I can help teach that one because like, again, I may not be that good at it, but it is a really fun hobby. And like, we just need to do more things that bring us joy. For example, Reese, my boyfriend, the other day was talking about how he was like, oh, like today's Monday, and he was like, oh yeah, tomorrow's Monday, like, you know, but then it's just like 5 days till Friday. And I was like, dude, you cannot have that mindset. Like, you cannot live your life as a 23-year-old in a job that you started like 3 weeks ago and already have the 5 days till Friday mindset. Like, I want to work in a place, and I know obviously not every job is, if you want to be a doctor or something, you can't just like, I mean, if that's what brings you joy, that's what brings you joy. Like, I know there's going to be jobs, obviously, and I can't think of any off the top of my head where, you know, it's like you really have to start at the bottom to get to the top. Like, I know that there's jobs like that. But even then, like, you probably love what you're doing because you want to be on top and you want to like do these things, right? I mean, I don't know. I feel like I see the whole world through rose-colored glasses, but like, why would I not? You know, and I have my moments. I am realistic about like finances and like just the absolute horrific state of like our climate and our country. Like, I'm really realistic about these things, and I'm not just like gonna live life all like hippy dippy and sunshiny rainbows all the time, but sometimes it's necessary. Okay, so also, as I'm like kind of rambling about this, I'm realizing that my time is definitely over 10 minutes, and I said this was going to be 10 minutes, but you know, once I just start talking about this stuff, I kind of can't stop. but that's okay. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking like you should absolutely do something that brings you joy. Take your favorite hobbies and turn them into a career if you can. And like, you should never feel too old to change your path. You know, you should. It's like I played that TikTok a few episodes ago. I don't know how many or when it even was, but it was like about that guy who was in his like 70s or something, and he was giving advice. And basically he said like, I spent like 40 years of my life, I'm making these numbers up, I don't know, like 40 years of my life like practicing law and like going to like be a lawyer, and then being a lawyer, and I hated every single second of it, and then like, but I just worked at it every single day because I thought like, oh, I don't want to throw this all away, like I've spent so much time on it. Is that making any sense? It's I am explaining it very poorly, but it is basically just like, no matter how much time you spent learning one thing, if you don't like it, like quitting, quote unquote, is never a bad thing. Like you need to do stuff you love. Like we're literally flying on a rock through space, and so many things don't last forever. Like I feel like if COVID taught us anything, it's like to not take your life for granted, to not take the little things for granted, to not just like do what you love, you know, because you never know when things will shut down and things will stop and you won't be able to do those anymore. Like, right. Earlier I was talking about the rose-colored glasses thing. Like it's sometimes hard to see the world through rose-colored glasses when it just seems like one thing after the next is bad. Everything is just getting worse. It's like you think we're good. We have like one clean slate day of like nothing bad happening, and then like, bam, there's like some shooting or something, and it's tragic and disturbing and horrible and disgusting, and like everything is falling apart at so often. But think about the times when you're just like sitting in bed on TikTok, or like you're just like walking around your neighborhood, or you're like going to your job or something. Like there are ways to make every little thing fun, you know, like you can spend time mourning these things. Like, I don't know how to say this without like sounding ignorant. And I don't know. Keep that in, I guess, because I fear that a lot with being someone who is so like sunshiny rainbows all the time. Like I don't want to sound ignorant. I don't want to sound stupid. Like I know it is not a possibility for everyone to just like quit your job and move to Hawaii, like even no matter how much you want to. But like if you want to be in Hawaii, you know, try to spend your days off like at the lake or the river or something. And I'm getting a phone call from my dad. My dad, literally, this one's for you, Hannah. My dad calls me in every podcast. Hello. Hey. Oh, amazing. Okay, I'll come downstairs right now. Okay, bye. Okay, so dinner is ready. Dinner's ready, so I'm gonna go. But basically, yeah, I just want to say that I'm starting camp. I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm really excited. I have a whole world of opportunities ahead of me. And if I can leave you with any kind of nugget of advice, it would be to take a good look around you for the things that are bringing you joy and the things that aren't bringing you joy, and try to incorporate the things that are a little bit more. I know that sounds pretty basic and like easy, simple advice, but it is the best advice I could give you. Do the little things that make you happy. Try to be more observant. Go on walks without headphones. Listen to the birds chirping. Notice how fast the clouds are moving and how slowly they're moving at times. Go on a lunch date with yourself. Just enjoy everything. Dance in the street if you want to. Do whatever you want. But know that your life is so precious and it is not worth wasting. So do what makes you happy. And also, I think a huge part of that is also working to love yourself, which is a whole different topic for a different day. But I think the more observant you are and the more you spend times doing things that bring you joy, you also start to love yourself along the way, which is pretty awesome. I need to go eat some pasta and then go get a brownie sundae with my friends before I leave for North Carolina. But I wanted to say that I love you, and I cannot wait to talk to you soon. Next time I talk to you, I will be in the mountains. So that is pretty exciting. Okay, lots of love. Good luck with everything this week, and go buy a stranger coffee or tip someone really well or something. I don't know. I love you. Okay, goodbye.